One thing I will note is for organizers, if you're having a problem with this, and I know several people have, you can just take and say, for every time you take an RSVP for an event or every time you take and rate an event, a lot of groups I know have a point system, and if you have so many points, then, you get a small little prize or something like that. Our group actually awards 5 points for doing so. So if you RSVP for an event, you get 5 points, and then if you rate an event, then you get 5 more points. And it's a great way to kind of encourage people to take and use this on a general basis. Now, one thing I do want to show you is the email attendees. One thing that I did is we had a coffee or cocktails and contacts, and there were 70 people who showed up. And I wanted to email all 70 individuals because I'm the person who's responsible in our chapter for doing so. And I just clicked on email attendees, and it'll essentially go to the people who attended the group, who are also WPN members. And essentially all I put was, thank you, and then told them, thanks a lot for going. We really appreciate it and everything for you attending, and we'd love for you to come to our next event, and then to put the time and stuff. This is a great way to basically take and do the how-to, if you recall, and to follow up with people. So just a few more things I want to show you. So we know how to rate an event. We know how to RSVP. We know how to add a page of interest. We know how to add personal information, a photo. Let's see. What if you want to do different groups? So if you see here, I actually have Raleigh Professionals as another group. This is like a young professional group. Well, what if, for example, you want to take and, I don't know, add a third group? Maybe you like to cook. Well, here you can add all of these groups if you want to. So just to let you know, you're not just bound to WPN. Now, one more thing I'm going to show you is essentially how to synchronize your accounts. So let me go here first to email settings. And again, this is where everything talks about how to do email. So, for example, let's say, you don't want to get an email from this person. You would click on this, and it tells you exactly what I want. I want a daily email from this group. This is actually my chapter. I don't want it on a continuous basis. Okay? I'm actually going to cancel because I like it just the way it is. But there's certain groups, for example, Fayetteville, Wilmington, Sanford. I may not want to get an email from them. So let me go to my actual thing. Here's my calendar, okay? So when you add your personal information, it's going to add your calendar. And this is kind of cool because it tells you, based upon your interests, all the different things. But another thing that you could do is you can add to. Now, I use Google personally, and you can actually synchronize it with Google. And here you just click on Google. And the cool thing is that, believe it or not, when I log into Google, I actually get everything that I have RSVP'd for. You can do suggestions on or suggestions off, and what that means is essentially it will show you that there won't be anything for you, for suggestions for you to go to things. Whereas here, suggestions on, you'll look at the blue boxes and it'll tell you exactly what things there are to do. These are the things on the 28th that are being done. And as if you recall, I'm a member of the Chesterfield group, so here, this is what they're doing. This is actually a group that I belong to. It's the Raleigh Young Professionals, and here they have something. So again, that's up to you. And then here, you can see that you either have the option to RSVP yes for everything, or you haven't decided. So that's something that you can do. I'm going to go back to my group, and I'm going to show you that this is the calendar. And this is cool because it shows you the different things. And if you go down, it tells you the different groups. And if you click on the day, and I'm going to click here, you can actually schedule a meetup on the calendar. So, for example, let's say that, I'm an estate planning attorney and I'm giving a presentation about living trust tomorrow. It's a joke. Lots of times that estate planning attorneys do that, and then they give you a steak dinner at the end. So, on 2/28/12, which is tomorrow at 7 o'clock p.m., I'm going to go ahead and suggest it. I'm going to take in what should we do. I'm going to put living trust. And you can actually suggest the place. I'm not going to click on anything because I don't want to set up a group. Go down, you can add additional things. Several things I would add is your meeting location, the time, and also maybe the duration of how long it's going to last, and any stuff that needs to be brought. Another thing that I will mention is that you're going to definitely need to do this ahead of time. You're not going to get a lot of people who are going to take and do this, who are going to come a day beforehand. So definitely do stuff a month in advance. Another thing I'm going to show you is that you can actually automatically repeat this meetup. So for example, if you're given a presentation on living trust and you do it every week or every month, you can take and automatically repeat this meetup either by weeks or by months or however you want to. These things down here are different. Charging for meetup, you have that option. You don't have to. The RSVP settings, you can limit how many people come. Some people do that maybe if they're only having a venue that can serve 50 people. So again, the key point is just to play around with stuff. So I hope that you've learned a lot from this. And if anything, I'm just going to take and show you one last thing, and that is this right here. And that's the help. How do I learn stuff? Well, I'm going to show you. One thing that I think is pretty cool is that you can actually link up videos to Meetup. Didn't know about that, right? I had no idea. Again, don't know if the directors want us to do this, don't know. But if you do, maybe you want to do a video, on your page just to say, welcome, we are, the Meetup chapter for such and such. You just click on this, and it's going to give you a step-by-step guide. But something that's really cool is that there's actually an organizer guide. So that's something that, a lot of organizers want to play around with. But another cool thing I'll show you about this is maybe you want it to do video, but, maybe you're looking for YouTube videos. Or maybe you're looking for Google video, right? Click on that. Look, it takes you right there to the YouTube video. So that's something that you can take and play around with. Well, what about here? What if, you just want to play around with organizer? You're an organizer and, you want to know about different stuff. Well, here, if you look down here, and this would be good for organizers and I think meetup coordinators, you can find out a lot about different stuff. Again, a lot of this stuff deals with dues and stuff of that nature. We don't really deal with that type of stuff, but one of the things I will talk to you about is if you are an organizer, there is a book or a reference guide just for you. I'm going to click on this, and here it is. It's a different little reference guide, and it's tips and tricks and so forth. I'm going to click on just several. And a lot of this stuff discusses like how other meetup organizers get a lot of people to their groups, whether they put it, in conjunction with another group, or maybe they take and host something, or, whatever they do. This just goes to show you their little tips and tricks they've learned. So again, this is just a person, Tamara, who's just talking about the Tri-Country Avengers meetup group. Apparently they're in Florida, and they actually got 1,000 past meetup. So obviously she's doing a good job. Here, just to let you know, is new features. Something I'm going to tell you is like every social networking site, the stuff changes all the time. So if you come here, again, they'll tell you about the new features. And again, look, one of the new features is the email settings, which I'm very thankful for. One of the other things is in October, they actually changed the layout of the page. Here, they suggest that meetups are in your member calendar. So again, just play around with stuff and you will definitely find out a lot of stuff. There's also a help reference underneath help, and that's another way to learn about different stuff. So I hope you learned a lot, and again, don't be afraid to try it. If you have any questions, go to other members, go to your meetup coordinator, and then if you still have questions, your meetup coordinator can come to the meetup director, or they can either email to meetup@womenspowernetworking.com. Again, it's meetup@womenspowernetworking.com. Thanks.